Good afternoon, students. I am starting with your fourth unit, that is biodiversity and conservation. First of all, some definition. Biodiversity means the different kinds of living organisms present on the Earth's surface, and it includes the species diversity, genetic diversity, and ecosystem diversity. Next, natural history. So, natural history means the study of various plants, animals, microorganisms present in their natural habitat. So, it is very much similar with that of zoos and botanical gardens. So, natural history museums are also present. Now, this is done in order to learn about the organism more from observation than from experiment. And a naturalist means the man who studies the natural history, and he compares and correlates the changes of natural environment together with some incidents, for example flood, earthquake, or human related changes such as the pollution or climate change. Next topic is the level of biological diversity. So we can study the biological diversity under three kinds, that is genetic diversity, species diversity, and ecosystem diversity. And what do we mean by ecosystem diversity? The variety of ecosystem present in a particular geographic location is the ecosystem diversity. For example, in the Antarctica, we can see that the ecosystem is very much less diverse as compared to the northeast part of India, where the diversity of ecosystem is very much there. Now, why is this? Means the reason why the diversity is more or less in various parts of the world. It could be because of the availability of oxygen, because photosynthesis could actually change the environment. Then availability of aquatic ecosystem. So water actually helps in availability to various living organisms as well as to humans also. Next is the diverse plant for medicines, because wherever medicinal plants are available, then the diseases could be also cured. Fourth is the human existence, because more the population of human would be there, more the ecosystem would be diverse. Next topic is species diversity. Now, species diversity means the diversity of species in a community or population. Now, species diversity is very much similar with species richness, but it includes some more points together with species richness. Species richness means the total number of organisms which are found inside a species in a particular community, while species diversity includes both the species richness, means the number of species, as well as the measure of abundance of each species found in a community. Now, the importance of learning about species diversity is that greater the number of diversity, species diversity, and more would be the stability of the environment. For example, species diversity in case of forest and in case of desert. So we can see that the diversity is very much there in case of forest and it is very less in desert. So we find that the desert ecosystem is much more fragile as compared to that of forest ecosystem. Next, another point is the availability of food, plant resource, medicine, fodder for animals. So these are also more available with species richness, species diversity. Next is the genetic diversity. So this means that the total number of genetic characteristics of a particular species. Now, more the genetic diversity would be there, more the adaptation of the organisms would be to the changing environment, because together with the changing environment, that is the global climate change, the organisms whose genes are more diverse, having more number of genes, they are better adapted with the environment. For example, we can say that in case of agriculture and in medicine, the genetic variation or the gene pool is invested in order to strain out some particular newer varieties of organisms which can adapt better with the environment. And another example of species diversity could be seen in case of oil-eating bacteria. For example, the Pseudomonas or Marinobacter. So these organisms can eat the compound of petroleum, and thus they can help in the oil spillage problem in case of seas and oceans. So this is a kind of bioremediation also. Next topic is the levels of organization, where we study about the ecological organization. So here we can say that the species means a group of individuals which are genetically that they can reproduce within the same organism, the same group of organisms. So those are referred to as a species, and at the basis of this diagram, the individual organism is found. So a population would be a group of organisms belonging to the same species, and they can live in the same area. So many different groups of population would consist a community, and many varieties of community would consist an ecosystem, and the various ecosystem of the earth together forms the biosphere. Next topic for discussion is the biodiversity hotspot. So what are these biodiversity hotspot? These are certain regions in the spread all over the world which are having a lot of variety of living organisms, a lot of diverse living organisms, and they are threatened. Also the criteria would be as such that the individuals or the biodiversity has to be threatened due to human existence or human habitation. Because of human problems created for the existence of the organisms, the area has been known for becoming the biological diversity. So it was the biodiversity hotspot name was first given by Norman Maier in the year 1988 in his work of 2 articles, that is Environmentalist. And all over the world there are about 36 biodiversity hotspots, out of which 4 are found in India. So in this map we can see that the 4 biodiversity hotspots, which are the Himalayas, the Indo-Burman region, that is the entire northeast India, then the Western Ghats, and the 4th one is the Sundaland. So this Sundaland consists of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Our today's last topic of discussion is the biogeographical classification of India. So the whole country of India, because of having a lot of rich biodiversity, has been classified under 10 biogeographic zones. Now what are these biogeographic zones? These are nothing but the study of distribution of various species, organisms and ecosystem, and because of their diversity they had been classified under these 10 headings, and these are further subdivided into biogeographic provinces. So there are 27 biogeographic provinces and 10 zones are there, and in this map we can see those 10 zones. So in details of these zones it is not required, just the name could be enough for you all. So in this lecture video I am ending this video, and there would be another part of the 4th unit that we will be discussing, and you all can go through this video, and I'll be uploading the study materials also. And for tomorrow's class, online class, you all can go through that, and if you have any doubts and queries, then ask in the online class. Thank you.